Have you ever had an idea or shared like a vision with a friend, with colleagues, maybe at work, church, anywhere, and people look at you and go, hmm, no, it will not work, or ah, you're just have the dreamer, or keep dreaming, or that's a silly thing, that's a silly idea, it won't work. Or they just try to discourage you and kill the idea even before you think of getting it. Have you ever had times like that? If you have, hold that thought. Hey Vibers, welcome to episode 13 of My Two Cents on Vibing with Stacia. I remain your host, Stacia, and if you are new here, we do have a tradition where we subscribe, turn on the notification, and stay tuned for posts like this every week. And to my OGs who know the drill, oh my god, thank you so much for your immeasurable support. Thank you for making this channel your favorite. So let's get into class. Now, your ideas and your dreams are your ideas and dreams. Your visions are in your head, and it means that only you can actually see how beautiful it is. And sometimes, when you try to project this idea to people who are not in your head, who can't see how beautiful it is, it doesn't always make sense to them. You could have a concept, something so unique, so beautiful, and you're sharing it to someone with so much excitement, and they go, okay, okay, okay. And you go, do you understand what I'm like? Can you see the picture? Can you see? And they're like, mm-hmm. Well, I can't really see it, but okay. Because sometimes they can't see it, and sometimes your dreams, your ideas, your vision will not make sense to the next person. You don't need their permission to materialize your dreams, your vision, the projection you're seeing in your head. So don't go about asking for permission to do, because the truth is, someone who doesn't see the vision that you have, they can't give you the permission to shine. They don't understand it, so why would they say, okay, you can go ahead? So you really don't need people's permission. As long as you understand your why, as long as your vision is clear, the instructions, your directions are solid, then you are good to go. Now, if we go down history, you will see that so many inventions, so many innovations that we enjoy today were frowned upon by the people of that time. People didn't understand it, and so to them, it didn't make sense, and they just thought, oh well. Take for instance Thomas Edison. Yep, I think he's known as the father of all invention, or most invention, because he had so many ideas that he brought to light. One that is really notable is the light bulb, the electric bulb. When he started, people called it a sham. People said, oh, this is a fairy tale. Oh, what are you trying to do? This doesn't make sense. Just stop it, Thomas. This doesn't make sense. Just stop it, Thomas. Just give up already, right? But today, there is no house, or there is hardly a house that does not have an electric bulb. There is hardly a house that does not have an electric bulb. You could see me clearly because my lights are turned on, the bulbs are working, electricity is flowing through that bulb, and there is light. And it was somebody's crazy idea, the vision he had. And today, Thomas is no longer with us, but his creation, his invention lives after him. People will always make reference to that crazy idea that no one believed in at first, but has become things that are so essential and vital for our existence right now. Sometimes you have ideas that are just bigger than the people of the time, ideas that transcends generations after you, and you're seeing that idea so clear, but someone cannot. The Wright brothers, when they started, people told them, oh, this is a scientific toy. A notable general, Ferdinand Foch, a French general, that said, oh, airplanes are okay to be scientific toys, but they can never be weapons of military force or warfare. 8 years after he said that statement, first Scottish seaplane flew from Newfoundland to Portugal across the Atlantic Ocean. Right now, aeroplanes are, people can't do without aeroplanes. I mean, you fly across seas, across lands to get to different destination in the airplane is such a beautiful invention. When the Wright brothers thought about this in 1903, I didn't think they envisaged that it would be this big, or maybe they did, but years after they're gone, their invention lives after them. I'm in the UK. I flew in an airplane from Nigeria to get to the UK. Imagine if they believed their invention was useless, or based off of everyone's judgment and criticism, they stopped. They didn't go ahead with it. Would have been stuck with just cars on the road, or maybe somebody would have thought of it and do it, but because it didn't make sense to the generation then, but it made sense to them, they stuck to it, and today it's an invention that we can actually do without. So sometimes your ideas, your vision will sound crazy to the next person, but it's yours. Once you understand your why, once the vision is clear, go ahead. The Wright brothers understood what they were trying to invent. They knew it would solve so many problems, the problems they had then and the problems of the future generation. And they believed so strongly in their why. And so even when people mocked the idea, I think the first time they tried it, it flew for 12 seconds. So even when it didn't feel like it was going to ever work, they kept at it. They kept going. They kept feeding that idea, and it grew. And today it is bigger. So when you have an idea, keep feeding it, keep trying, just pour into it. Once you bring your idea to life, it starts growing. And if you keep feeding it, it grows healthier. Right? So it's like a child. You give birth to a child and you're feeding the child is growing. One day that child is going to become an adult. So once the crazy idea, you think, oh, nobody can actually really see where it is headed, but you keep pouring into it, you keep investing into that idea, eventually it will pay off. You will get a return on investment. So keep pouring into it. Don't give up. Your vision is clear to you. Keep following the path. Okay, even when people don't understand why you're on that journey, why you're on that path, keep following that path. Keep at it. You can see it clearly. You know where you're headed. So keep at it. When the internet came out, people made a fuss about the internet. Today, people live on the internet. You and I are able to have this conversation. You're able to understand what I'm saying so clearly. You're able to see me because of people's invention, because of the internet, and because of people who have invented apps like YouTube, Facebook, for people to connect. It was a crazy idea. Someone just thought, oh, we could use the internet to still use these apps on the internet to connect people. And today, I can share my message sitting at the comfort of my home, and you at the comfort of yours, getting this message, getting inspired by what I'm saying. So today, I hope through these inventions that you're able to also invent or create something for yourself. That you are not deterred by what people think about your crazy idea because they don't understand it yet. See, I used yet because people really don't understand things that don't actually make sense. But if you do, and once it becomes a reality, once you bring that vision out from your head, people begin to believe in it. People begin to understand it. Now, I think the story about fork, the cutlery, it's kind of funny because if you check years back, centuries back, people didn't accept it. They thought it was weird. But now everyone is using fork and knife to eat. So sometimes you don't have to understand it. People don't have to understand your ideas, right? As long as you understand, you believe in it, then go for it. You don't need people's permission, but it's okay to seek advice, to seek enhancement, to get feedback, but you don't need people's permission or people's approval to carry out your dream, to carry out your vision, to live it. Remember the story of Noah, right? When Noah was creating the ark and building that ark, people will pass and look at him like, this guy is crazy. Why are you? And I'm sure it was in summer because the rain hadn't come at that time, so everywhere was dry, and people will be thinking, why is this guy building a very large boat? What is your problem? Why are you spending days and days and days and days building this large boat. Like, are you that jobless? Please live your life. Everyone was going about mocking him until the flood came. And then I'm sure people realized, oh my God, this was why he was building. But it was too late. The doors were shut. They couldn't get in. So sometimes people will mock your ideas. People will call you stupid. People will look at you chasing your dreams or bringing your dreams to reality and say, come on, take a chill pill. Don't. Don't be deterred by what they say. Your dreams are bigger than their insults, it's bigger than their doubts, it's bigger than their fears, it's bigger than their misunderstanding. So keep chasing it. I remember when I started this YouTube page, when I shared the link and as someone said, oh, why are you on YouTube? Why did you start the channel on YouTube? Why didn't you use Instagram where you already had like followers, or TikTok? And I was like, I know why I used YouTube. There was a reason for the YouTube. I know where I am headed. It's, you can't see it, you can't understand. Because he thought that I was being stupid or crazy. And he said, oh, YouTube is really hard to build your audience on YouTube. So why would you start with YouTube where you will not gain followers and stuff like that? And I was like, I know it's going to be hard. I never assumed it was going to be a walk in the park, that I would just start the channel and I would become like a mega hit. I know it would take time. And I want to go through the process where it's difficult, where I learn from my mistake, where I keep improving, where I grow at it. And yes, sometimes it's easier to take the easy route, the shortcuts, but I think for me, it's a journey. I knew the reason why I started and why it is on this platform. So I'm not deterred by how hard it is at the moment or how difficult the path might look. I'm just concerned about showing up, about being consistent, about feeding my idea to keep it growing, to keep it alive, to keep it healthy. Right? For me, that is more important. So sometimes people might not understand the reason you do something, or it might not really make sense to anyone, but as long as it makes sense to you and as long as you understand your why, then keep at it. I've been emphasizing on understanding your why because the truth is, if you're also confused about why you're on a path, then you get why people are confused. It's like you write a story, you write a book, but you don't even understand the story you're trying to tell. So how do you expect your readers to comprehend your story? You have to understand it first. So that's why I'm emphasizing on, you have to understand your why. You have to understand why you started something, why you are at it. If it's not making sense to you, then it cannot make sense to another person. But if it's making sense to you and it's not making sense yet to the other people, keep at it. It will eventually make sense to them. But if it's not making sense to you, then there is a problem. It will never make sense to the next person. Because the propounder of a vision, it should make sense to you. The propounder of an idea, it should make sense to you. The owner of a dream, it should make sense to you. But if it's not making sense to you, it can never make sense to the next person. When Joseph the dreamer had the dream, he kind of like, it made sense to him. His dream, you understand, it made sense even if he had not seen the future, but his dream made sense to him. It didn't make sense to his brothers, it didn't even make sense to his father, but he was like, I understand my dream, so okay, we'll just watch it play out. And eventually it played out. So you have to understand your dream, you have to understand your vision before you are thinking of it making sense to someone else. So this is just a reminder that we are all powerful. We all have something that is unique. We all have beautiful ideas, creative innovations. God didn't put you on earth here without a purpose, without something to contribute to the earth. And so when you find your purpose, when you find your mark, when you find your seed, make sure you water it. Make sure you grow it confidently without fear. Make sure you protect it. And when people are acting like they don't understand it, don't be discouraged. That is a time where you go in silence and build. You protect your seed and allow it to grow. When it grows eventually and bears fruit, people will see it. So you're uniquely made. You're wonderfully made. You are not stupid. And so sometimes even when people try to make your ideas sound stupid to you, you are not stupid. So never think it's not good enough because it's not making sense to the next person. Okay. So the assignment for this week, I want us as we go in, channel all your energy into your ideas. They are not stupid. And even when people think they are stupid, they are not. Don't be discouraged. Keep at it. Water your seed. Okay? It doesn't have to make sense to everybody yet. Doesn't have to make sense. Elon Musk is trying to go to Mars. It doesn't make sense to me. Trust me, I don't understand why. But if he has a clear vision, if he understands his why, then it's okay. It will eventually make sense, maybe, or maybe not. Trust me, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why he's trying to do it. And that's okay. If he has a vision that is clear to him, if he has a reason, if he has a why, then he should shoot for the stars. So don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody downgrade your idea. Don't let them discourage you from taking the step that you've always wanted to take because they can't see your vision. So whatever it is that has been holding you back, if you're seeking people's approval, I'm letting you know today, you don't need anyone's approval to chase your dreams, to become who you were meant to be, to let your seed grow. So I would like to know, what's the most powerful thing you're taking out of this session today? And you could share with me in the comment section the times when your ideas didn't make sense. Probably a suggestion at work, but it turned out that suggestion is what is keeping the company, or what has improved or enhanced the company. It didn't make sense at first, but it eventually made sense. Or an idea that you had that didn't make sense to people at first, but now it's a brand line. It's something that has grown bigger than what you even visualize. So I would like to know, share with me your stories in the comment section. And thank you so much for sticking with me on this episode today, and I'll see you next week. Bye, verse.